Hi, welcome to day 42, Problems Involving Composite Shapes. So we're going to be taking a look at composite shapes, and what that is basically, or what those are figures that are made up of two or more two-dimensional shapes. So it could be a combination of rectangles and triangles, or rectangles and circles, or triangles and circles, or that kind of idea. So what we're going to do is take a look at this example. Here we have Marco's house, apparently, and if we just want to find the amount of siding for the front of his house, I'm not going to worry about the roof or the sides or anything, just the front of his house, we want to take a look at how much siding will he need, of course not covering the windows and the door. How are we going to figure that out? Okay, so first of all, take a look at the front of the house and decide what kind of shapes are involved in the front of his house, and what part of the house will be sided. Okay, so we have all these dimensions that are given. We've got the total height of the house. We've got basically the height of the peak of this part, and then from the ground up to that part. Then we've got the dimensions of the big window, the dimensions of the small window, the dimensions of the door, and we've got the length from here to here, which corresponds to that part of the roof there, and then the rest of the way along that. So what we need to do is we need to pause for a few minutes, and I'd like you to take a look at this and calculate the area that would need siding. Okay, so I'd like you to please pause the video. Now actually, let's do one quick thing. What shapes are involved in this? Okay, so hopefully we can agree that you see that there is a triangle involved here at the peak of the house, and then we know this distance here is going to be the same as that. So, and then we've got a rectangle for the rest of it. And then we've got all these other rectangles in the middle that don't need siding. So, what is the formula for the area of a triangle? Okay, hopefully you can agree that it is base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. And then the formula for the area of a rectangle. You can use base times height again if you like. I usually just say length times width, but base times height also works. Just make sure it's different from this base and height, because the triangle from the top, the peak of the roof, is different than the base and height for the rectangle of the base. Okay, so now that we've established that, can you please pause the video, do all the calculations, and make sure you keep sort of an inventory of what you're calculating so that you can kind of keep track of what is being involved with your calculations. Okay, so pause the video and come on back once you've calculated that, and we'll take a look at what these solutions are. Okay, now that you've done that, I'm just going to go through this quickly here and just find what that total area is, the siding that Marco needs here. So I'm going to start off with the triangle. So the area of the formula of the triangle we know is base times height divided by 2, and the base is going to be this distance here, so that's 4.5 meters, and the height is 2.5 meters, and we know that's divided by 2. So I'll do some calculating here. So 4.5 times 2.5 divided by 2, that's going to be 5.625. I'm just going to leave all of that for now, because we'll round it a little bit later on. And we know the units are meters, so then those are the linear units, and so the square units for area are meters squared. Then instead of breaking this up into all kinds of different rectangles around the outsides of these two windows and the door, I'm just going to take the large rectangle and then subtract off the areas of the windows and doors here. So the area of the front of the house is length times width, and the length is 4.5 plus 5.2, which is 9.7, and then the height, or the width, is 3.4 meters. We multiply those two together, and we get 32.98 meters squared. Please remember the units, because it's very important that we get the correct units, or we use units. Okay, so that's going to be the total for the front of the house. And let's just say, no, it's not even the siding. Let's just say the area of the large portion of the house. And so I'm going to add these two together, so we get 32.98, and I'm going to add 5.625, and that's going to give me 38.605 meters squared. Okay, so that's the whole front of the house. But of course we're not going to be doing siding on the large window, the small window, or the door, so we have to remove those from the siding calculation. So let's say the large window, so the area, of course that's a rectangle again, so I'm going to have 2.1 times 2.8. Then the small window is 1 by 1, so not that I really have to show that, and I can actually do that in my head, surprisingly enough. And now that I'm over here, I'll do the 2.1 times 2.8 to get 5.88 meters squared. And then we've got the door, again another rectangle, and it is 2.2 times 1, and with my stunning mental math skills I will decide that that is 2.2 meters squared. So the area of door and windows, it's supposed to be a little and symbol there, is going to be the sum of all of these. So 5.88 plus 1 plus 2.2 is 9.08 meters squared. And then the area for siding is going to be the area of the whole front of the house, like I've done before, minus the area of doors and windows. And so we got 38.605 minus 9.08. And we get 29.525 meters squared, which I guess we can estimate that as, let's say, 29.5, just for kicks. So the area of the siding that Markman needs for his house is 29.5 meters squared. Hopefully you were able to calculate that when you did the calculations before. So that's kind of the idea of what this lesson is all about. Breaking apart more complicated figures into simpler figures, and then either adding or subtracting to get the total of what is being asked for in terms of area.